So the Pope is on his way here, and he's going to be issuing a public apology for the church's involvement in the abuses of the residential schools against indigenous people. And especially now, we're uncovering thousands and thousands of bodies of children within residential school property. And I think this is an important step. I've been listening to my Indigenous friends talk about this, what it means to them. And like all communities, there's a diversity of opinion and thought on that. But what they all can agree on is that this is a good first step towards reconciliation, towards moving towards a just relationship with Indigenous people on the land and settlers. I was listening to a First Nations political scientist from the U of A who recognized that this Pope's visit, by necessity, creates trauma among residential school survivors because they will be exposed to Catholic symbolism, Catholic language, Catholic liturgy, Catholic expressions. And for many of them, that is traumatizing. It takes them back to the abuses of their childhood. But they also said that that's an important piece of the apology is to own and live within that trauma as a way of starting to heal. And I'm really hoping that the Pope lives up to the expectations for that apology. But there's also been conversation about whether or not taxpayer money should pay for his security detail and that sort of stuff. And then a colleague of mine, an Anglican priest in Montreal, actually a university professor, noted on her Twitter feed that it's not just the Roman Catholic Church or churches who supported these residential schools. It was the Canadian government who contracted with the churches to run these residential schools. So, of course, government money, taxpayer money, should be used to pay for the Pope's security and pay for this whole event, to help pay for this whole event. Because it was the Canadian government that funded these schools and the churches who ran these schools on behalf of the government. It was a contract. And so Canadians are just as complicit as the ones who ran these residential schools. It was the churches working on behalf of the government. And so, of course, we're going to pay for this Pope security detail. Of course, we're going to put some financial assistance to this. For me, it's a no-brainer. To say that the government should not be paying for this is letting Canadians off the hook. And I know there are some folks out there that say the Pope shouldn't even step foot on Canadian soil because the Roman Catholic Church has been so evil and corrupt and so awful in their administration and their abuses of residential school. And I'm saying that's exactly why the Pope needs to come. That's exactly why the head of the Roman Catholic Church needs to offer that apology as a first step, as a beginning towards recognizing and reconciling with the Indigenous people of the land in a way that's intentional, in a way that's healing, and in a way that allows the First Nations people to lead the reconciliation process rather than more colonialism happening among settlers who try to dictate what reconciliation looks like. So we'll see what the Pope has to say. We'll see what this apology sounds like. We'll see where this leads. But also, reconciliation has been a priority for Bishop Larry here in Alberta and the Territories, as well as our national bishop, Bishop Susan Johnson. She was part of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and was very active in that. So reconciliation has been an important priority for both our synodical bishop and our national bishop. And we'll see how this whole thing plays out. Please keep this whole process, the Pope's visit, the ongoing conversations, the listening circles, the elder-led reconciliation groups that I've been a part of as well, that all of these lead to a common healing, a common understanding, so we can walk in tandem towards the future that God is preparing.